The cameras were already rolling, the studio lights glaring down on polished wood desks and rows of restless journalists, when the tension in the air finally snapped. It was supposed to be just another political hearing, another routine clash of ideas and words, but no one expected it to erupt into a moment that would leave the entire room breathless. Sitting across from each other were two figures who needed no introduction: House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana. Both seasoned, both sharp, both used to applause and criticism in equal measure. But what was about to unfold would become one of the most replayed exchanges in recent memory. Nancy Pelosi leaned forward, her tone dripping with sarcasm. With a faint smirk, she mocked Senator Kennedy in front of the cameras, tossing out words meant to belittle him, his southern drawl, his down-to-earth style of speaking, even his choice of words that resonated more with regular people than with the polished halls of Washington. "Senator Kennedy," she said, her voice cutting like a knife, "perhaps if you spent less time speaking in riddles for the cameras, you'd understand how real governance works. This isn't a country fair, this is Congress. We need leaders, not storytellers." The audience shifted, journalists scribbled, and even some of the staffers behind the desk let out muffled laughter. Pelosi had played her card well, or so it seemed. The intent was clear: to paint Kennedy as folksy, out of touch, and irrelevant. It was the sort of jab many politicians couldn't easily recover from. But Kennedy didn't flinch. He sat back in his chair, hands folded neatly, his face calm. That calmness wasn't weakness, it was preparation. He let the silence hang in the air, just long enough for everyone to notice that he hadn't rushed to respond. And then, with his slow Louisiana cadence, he leaned toward the microphone and delivered the line that would stop Pelosi cold. "Madam Speaker," Kennedy began, his eyes steady and voice unshaken, "I'd rather speak in plain words that every American can understand than hide behind clever phrases nobody can trust. If telling the truth makes me a storyteller, then maybe Washington could use a few more storytellers and a lot fewer performers." The words hit like a thunderclap. The laughter died instantly. Cameras zoomed in, capturing Pelosi's tightening jaw as her smirk faded. Kennedy's words weren't just a defense, they were an indictment. He had turned her insult into a mirror, reflecting it back with twice the force. The room, once buzzing with chuckles, grew so quiet that even the clicking of a camera shutter echoed like a drumbeat. But Kennedy didn't stop there. He went on, his voice carrying not just across the room but into the homes of millions watching. "Folks back home don't care about polished speeches or rehearsed insults," he said. "They care about putting food on the table, keeping their kids safe, and knowing their leaders aren't too busy.